Have just been drafted in the 2019 NBA draft. 35 years ago, a kid from Chicago was hoping to become a star until an unthinkable tragedy cost him his dream. And as I found out last month, Ben Wilson's legacy continues to live on today, even through some in the Quad Cities.
At center for the Wolverines, a junior, 6'7", number 25, Ben Wilson.
He was about to gain popularity throughout Illinois.
More size than 20 a contest for Ben Wilson.
Ben Wilson's team playing in the 1984 state quarterfinals.
The Blue Machine Wolverines of Chicago Simeon, 27-1, the Chicago Public League champions.
Ben's first test at Assembly Hall in Champaign.
And now let's meet the Rocks of Rock Island High School with a record of 27-3.
Back and read.
He looks so young in there.
Yeah, man. He was a really good coach.
John Gunter and his daughter Barbara were in the stands that day cheering on their Rocks, but the two had a much stronger connection to this game.
I'm a junior at Rocky at the time, and he a junior at Simeon, so.
Wilson and Barbara are first cousins, while John is Benji's uncle. Watching the game brings back memories for the two.
I think Benji makes the first basket.
First shot, right down by Ben Wilson.
Okay, I think he made the first shot.
Putting the ball on the floor, floating in with soft touch, rebounding, block shots, did everything.
The game also brings back memories for Devon Binion and Kedrick Prince, two Rocky players on that '84 team.
Some of the things that he was doing early on in the game weren't things that a 6'7" guy would be doing, and it was actually things we never saw the entire season.
Benji led all scorers with 16 points. The Wolverines won by just 4, going on to win the state championship that year.
The state tournament was his coming out party, and it was also an opportunity for him to showcase in front of all the media in the state of Illinois how well he could play, how good of a shooter he was.
See that? Net. He'd do that all day.
Right.
He'd do that all day.
Going into his senior year, he was named the best basketball player in the country. But in November, his promising career took a turn for the worst.
So we were actually going to go to Chicago for Thanksgiving. And I remember me and my sister Cheryl coming home from school, and Dad was like, Benji's been shot.
Benji was killed outside of his high school after a run-in with 2 kids from another school. The story made headlines across the country.
You hear people talking about what he could have been and what this and what that and what. So to me, he was just my nephew, and he was good at what he did at basketball.
What you probably didn't know, Benji would come to Rock Island as a kid and hang out with his cousin Barbara. She remembers him coming over in the summer, and they'd get together at their family home on 12th Street. It's these halls right here where Benji would actually play basketball as a kid when he would come to the Quad Cities. This is the Hawthorne Irving Elementary School, which is now the Rock Island Academy. Friends, family, and even opposing players against Benji say that he had a very bright future ahead of him.
I knew we had family here later in life, but to know that he played here, at the Parks here is unique, because I would have loved, to have been a part of that, and just knowing the fact that we could have played with him.
And I just hated he didn't get the opportunity to, go farther.
Watching games like these are hard for John and Barbara to do, but they're also glad his legacy lives on through people in the Quad Cities today.
We all know what probably could have been, but still, it's in the past. It's part of history. That's the way I look at it. It's just part of history.
Now, some may have heard of Benji's story through ESPN's 30 for 30 documentary series. They featured him in a documentary back in 2012. Barbara believes Benji would have gone to the University of Indiana to play for Bobby Knight had he played in college. The Hoosiers went on to win a national championship just 2 years later in 1987. Our time right now is